Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicola from Singer's Secret. Now, dealing with rejection is something that is just part and parcel of the singer's life. And it happens all the time, from if you do an audition and you don't get the part, to if you perform and sing in public and someone says something negative about your singing, or if you write a song and someone says they don't like your song. You know, you've got to deal with this rejection. And it is very hard as a musician not to take rejection personally, because part of what we do as we create our art, we feel that it is really a reflection of us, and we pour our hearts and our souls into what we do and how we sing and how we produce this creativity. So today I'm going to share with you some advice on how you can go about dealing with rejection as a singer and a performer and a songwriter, and not only how to deal with that rejection, but then also how to turn that rejection into something constructive. And rejection can happen to a singer no matter what stage of your music career you're at. For example, I just got something of mine rejected quite recently. I just wrote my first ever sort of fully fledged pop song. I kind of branched out because I'm a jazz singer and I usually kind of write songs that are in the jazz genre, but I branched out and I wrote something that was way out of my comfort zone. My first full-on pop song that took a lot of influence from pop songs that are in the top 40 right now. And I thought I did a pretty good job with this song. It had a catchy rhythm, it had been kind of going around in my head for a couple of days, so I knew it was catchy. And I sent it to my publisher for feedback, and he didn't like it. Now, my publisher is very constructive with the criticism that he provides. And I think he wrote something like in his email, "I really love your ambition. You are pushing your boundaries, but I don't think you're quite there with this song yet." But what I read when I saw that email was, "You suck." And that is what it means to take rejection very personally as a singer. As soon as I read that email, I took it personally. I thought, oh my God, he hates my song. I should never have gone and branched out into this pop song. I totally suck. And I was getting fully depressed and like hating myself. And the first thing that I wanted to do when I read that email was to fire back another email that sort of said, "I don't care what you think. I thought I did a really good job. Nah," you know. So this is my first strategy for dealing with rejection. Strategy number one is to take a breather, take 5-10 minutes, even sleep on it, and go back to the email or reread the criticism or rethink the criticism the next day when you have a clear head before responding. And one of the main reasons that taking a breather before responding helps is that when I reread my publisher's email the next day, I actually found the positives in his email. Whereas the first time I read it, it was like it was a completely different email. All I read was, "I sucked, this is crap." But second time I read it, I realized, actually, you know what? There are some constructive points in here. He's not telling me I suck, I just need to work on it a little bit more. So you really are seeing things with a fresh set of eyes. Strategy number two for dealing with rejection is to not take it personally. Now, I know this is something, it sort of sounds a little bit cliche, you know, or you can't take it personally, but it is actually quite true. When people are criticizing your performance or your song, they're not criticizing you, they're criticizing the work. So you really do have to sort of step back and disassociate yourself from the work for a sec, which I know is hard because, like I said before, we pour so much of ourselves into the work and it's like an extension of us. But realize they are not criticizing you, they are criticizing the work. Now, if someone's being a dick and they're just sort of saying, "Oh, you suck," and they're not being constructive, by all means, just ignore them because you don't need to put up with that stuff. But if they are being constructive and they're sort of saying, "Oh, you know, look, that performance, you weren't really confident. I would have preferred it if you talked to the audience a bit more," or maybe they said your pitch was off. They're not saying you suck as a singer or you suck as a performer. They're saying your pitch was slightly off. I think that you could potentially improve and work on your confidence. So you've got to disassociate yourself, see past the personal aspect of it and actually find out what the criticism is about, to see if there is something that you could actually use to improve your skills. And the third way of dealing with rejection is to get a second opinion. What one person hates, another person may like. So for example, if my publisher didn't like my pop song, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad pop song, because he may just not like that particular song. He's not going to like everything that I produce, but I did show that pop song to my sister and she liked it. So, that may mean that it's actually not that bad of a song. The key takeaway is to find someone whose opinion you trust. So I do trust my publisher's opinion. He usually knows good music, he is musically educated, he's discerning. So when he listens to something, he's very much on the ball of what's selling at the moment and what's hot and what's not. So I do appreciate his feedback. But if I really thought that that pop song was the be all end all and it wasn't going to get any better and I didn't need to improve it, then perhaps I would seek another valued second opinion, just to sort of check to make sure that the work was actually up to scratch. And one final thing I'll say before I go is please, please do not let rejection or negative comments get in the way of you achieving your goals. More than anyone else, you need to believe in yourself first. Believe that what you have to offer is valuable. Yes, we can all grow. We can all develop our skills and get better and improve. And that is essentially what rejection and criticism is there for. It's a tool that you can use to identify areas of your work that you could potentially improve. So I really hope this video has helped you a little bit with dealing with rejection and negative feedback. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to head on over to singersecret.com to grab your free vocal warm-ups. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.